Nearly 4 decades after the Beatles' breakup, there are few, if any, pop artists that don't somehow draw on the world's original supergroup. And at 69, the band's legendary drummer is still making music of his own with his new album, Why Not? So, what inspires his rhythm? We asked Ringo Starr, and he told us for tonight's playlist.
I love music. And that's why, people say, oh, you're top 10. I don't have a top 10. I have a top 1,000.
Don't be cruel to who heart is true.
Don't be cruel. I was working in this factory and I took this girl to the movies because I had no money. So the only 2 seats left were 2 in the front. And we were in the front row, trying to impress her in the front row. And she worked in the office of this factory I worked in. And anyway, the date didn't go well, and I snuck up into her office, and on the dictaphone, I recorded Don't Be Cruel. So that's an important song. Baby, if I made you mad, huh, huh. And Elvis was the best. Elvis was the king.
Good golly, Miss Marley, sure like the bone.
Little Richard. And his band was so great. Little Richard is great, but was sensational. The power of it when you were a kid in Liverpool, of this guy and the band, and then you'd see photos of him and he was so like, woo, he was so strong. It was great. So the whole thing about Little Richard is great. And rock and roll is very important to me, and he is certainly an icon of rock and roll. Or he'd probably say, the icon. The drums are weird on Rain. I felt I only played like that on Rain. The drums I felt had another quality. I've never played like that since, I don't feel. I was asked the other day about, to name an obscure Beatle track, and I was saying, are there any? I don't know. We understood where we were what we were all thinking when we were making music. And, we had our ups and downs, and some days were angry days, but as soon as we had the counting, 1, 2, 3, everybody dialed into the music. We put all that aside.
But I'll be with you when the deal goes down.
You've just got to love Bob. I mean, my all-time favorite lately is When the Deal Goes Down. And it's just a beautiful love song. He's very romantic in a lot of songs, Bob. Everyone listens to his wacky dream stuff, which is great. But it's the sentiment of the record and how he says it, that no one else can say it like that, We met him in the 60s in New York. I've sort of bumped into him ever since. He's just an incredible artist. You couldn't do a list without mentioning Bob. Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. I just look at that girl and she's up there doing her stuff to the best of her ability. I love it. You can't doubt the Black Eyed Peas. That's pretty powerful. Eddie Vedder, I'm still a fan of his. There's hundreds of bands out there. You really can't, I can't hear them all. You listen to what you listen to.
The place that I come from, where